Exiles all around the dark world. I'm finally playing PoE2, and after hours of playing, I'm going to give you good advice to get started or perfect your adventure, and you'll master your journey after this video. 20 tips just for you. C'est parti! Hi guys, Sagis here, and for those who don't know me, I am a top Diablo 4 player and I achieved some good ranks each season, and I also won the leaderboard legend. Anyway, you can check this in my description, but for today I'm finally playing PoE2. And before we start, I'm sorry in advance for my English, but as you should know, French are really bad in English, so I will try to do my best for you guys. I'll give you more than 20 tips for help you to start well your journey and perfect your adventure, and all these tips will be grouped into the following of 5 categories: movement, strategy, game, UI, and finally shortcuts. I think that will help you a lot if you are a beginner or if you want to master your adventure. So here we go. I will give you my different types and advice. Okay, so I will start with the movement category, and when you create your character, you will have the choice to play with ZQSD or with keyboard and mouse. I will take my sorceress because it's more practical and easier to show you something. But I really recommend you to play with ZQSD. It's a really good feature in this game. This is allow you to move and aim in another direction. This is really great in fight, really practical. It's really better to focus good enemies and move better and faster. It's just a habit to get into. You can move while you are looking in another direction, so you can attack while you are moving in each different direction. It's really worse to play like that, and you can dodge roll and moving and aiming in any direction you want at the same time. You can maybe play with mouse and keyboard if you are playing a melee class, and the type number 2 if you want to play with mouse and keyboard. You will have to set up your attack in place or the hold position. As you can see here is shift, and this is really great for not die, because you will move forward and you will maybe die taking AoE damage while you are focusing a boss because you are missing 3 meters to kill him. Why I recommend the hold position shortcut? Because you can now attack while remaining on the spot and avoid annoying movements, and you can shot monster just as a perfect turret on your spot. This is really great, and you will not die because your character will move before attack because you miss 3 meters and you will die in AoE or with a boss strike. You can change this setting in the input tab. You choose the input method you want. Here you got toggle keyboard input method, so I will choose ZQSD or WASD to move with my character. So yeah, this is really great. Another thing to know is the cancel animation. You can cancel different skill to play more faster and attack more quicker and moving faster, and this allow you to play more comfortable. I will show you with the lip slam of the warrior the difference of mobility. So as you can see here, I will just lip slam and move after. Okay, lip slam and I'll move. And the goal of the animation cancelling is to roll out of the heavy landing by holding down your dodge roll button shortly before you land with lip slam. So I will show you now the normal lip slam. It takes time to go again, and now the lip slam, and I will roll just before land with my lip slam, and I can move more faster just after, and I can attack just after that. So here we go, up. As you can see here, you just have to holding down your dodge roll button just before landing with your lip slam, and it can work with some different animation from other class. You just have to test it, but for the warrior here, I just show you how it's work, and you have to know that some animation can be cancelled with the dodge roll. You see the difference, my friend? You feel so heavy, and when you cancel the animation, you can move just faster. That is work also with Bone Shatter, for example. It takes time to run again after my attack, and now if I hold down the dodge roll button just before finish my attack, you will see You can move just faster and you can dodge every monster attack. And if I don't dodge any attack, it's more slower and it feels really more practical and comfortable to play with this animation cancelling. Okay, that's all for the movement types, and now we'll talk about strategy. If you are a beginner or if you don't feel comfortable with Path of Exile 2, or if you are a new player in the hack and slash games, you will have to choose your build or straight follow a build guide. As you can see here on my Sagis Codex, is the same thing for Diablo 4 or any hack and slash or any games or with any APG game. Just choose your build and straight follow a build guide. This will allow you to have your guideline in mind and to project yourself. So you can find any different guides on Mobility or any guide on Maxroll. For example, here you can check build guide on maxroll.gg, endgame guide or leveling guide for different class. And for example, I prepare myself a warrior guide. It's a starter guide on mobility.gg, so you can find different good guides from good content creators that will help you a lot if you're a beginner to understand some mechanics. And right after you choose your build and maybe your guide, or if you are an accomplished player, you will have to make your planner. It's really important to have an overview of what you want and to have all the things you have to keep in mind as a equipment, gear, passive tree, different variants. You have to set up and follow your planner. So this is really important to not move forward blindly. As you can see here, I know what are my next passive skills, I know what kind of gear I want, and now I have an overall vision of if my build is good in theory. And I will put this guy in the next day for you guys if you want to start with warrior. And the last advice on this strategy part is take your time, my friend. Take your time to understand, take your time to read, to understand how your skill works. You can hold the Alt button and you can just read different mechanics and just take your time to do the thing well, my friend. It will give much more pleasure to play when you understand what you are doing. Some little game tips: you can just identify your item before sold them to a vendor, because you will earn much more gold while you are doing that. And for example, here my hooded mask cost 51 gold and now it costs 57 gold. As you can see here, the staff cost 700 and now it costs much more when it's identified. You can see here, you will earn much more and you can just identify all your items with this NPC, the hooded one, with identify item, and now you just have to sell your item at a better price. Really important is also to check a vendor, because they change their offering each time you level up. You just have to check, you can have some good surprises, some rare items here, the chainmail, or you can also have a right items or maybe magical items. And this is my next advice: you can upgrade your different items with different hubs, and you can have a really solid white item with sockets, and you can upgrade a normal item to magic item, or upgrade a normal item to a rare item and adding or changing different modifier. It's a really good way to gearing up when you are leveling and gain extra upgrades. Now, an important advice when you got uncut super gem: you click on your uncut super gem, and as you can see here, for example, I will show you with Perfect Strike. With Perfect Strike, I got 3 different support: Eternal Flame, Impact Shockwave, Windows of Opportunity with level 1 gem. But you can have much more than this, and you just have to click here. Sorry, you can see with my... So you just have to click here on all gems, right? And after, you will have a big list of different supports from different class from all the game. And some of these new supports can fit with my Perfect Strike. And for example, now I can choose Fire Infusion, and with Fire Infusion you can see support attack gain 25 of damage as extra fire damage. So I will put this one in my perfect strikes. If I just go to perfect strike here, I don't have the fire infusion. So I will take fire infusion, right? I engrave, and now you can see here the supportable skill, and that works with my perfect strike. So this is really important to understand that. And now I got fire infusion on my perfect stride, even if those support skills didn't appear, right? I'm really sorry for my English and if I make mistake of languages. Now you can see here the Salvage Bench. The Salvage Bench will allow you to salvage an equipment with quality or socket. You can't salvage any equipment. You have to salvage an equipment with a socket. For example, as you can see here with my bow, I will salvage now. Okay, right. And I gain different shard, and here it's an artificer's shard, and with a stack of 10 shard it becomes an artificer hub, and with an artificer's hub you can add a rune socket to a martial weapon or armor. Another game advice, as you can see here, my Gene barrier, you will have to complete the trial to choose your Ascendancy class. So the second trial will allow you to have your 2 first Ascendancy points, and I can show you with this character, but as you can see here, you will have the trial map, and with the trial map you will have to choose different roads to finish your trial. At this moment, try to avoid the most disabling penalties for you or your class and aim for the simplest penalties. And after you'll have your Ascendancy, my friend. Now I will give you some different good advice, some good types for the UI part. You go to option, interface, and items. You just click on always show sockets, because if you don't click on always show socket, from here I don't see if I got socket on my gear, and as you can see here there is a socket on my mace, so I recommend to always show sockets. It's really practical. Right after that, you can just click here and enable show full description, because that will help you a lot to see the full description of an item, highlighting when it's on the ground. So this is a good things to do, and I really recommend you to install an item filter. What does an item filter do? I'll show you. It allows you to highlight the desired object, modify the color of the object, apply lighting effects to better see them, sound effect for the rarest item, or add a specific icon, as you can see here on my footage. Now you can hear the sound of the artificer hubs and the different colors or effects with those kind of items. You just have two type item filter, PO2. There is a different item filter. There is never sync light filter, or the Pecham loot filter, or even the Siberian loot filter. I really like the never sync filter. So you just have to download the source code. Then you will have to extract here, right? Okay. Right after, you just have to copy this document never sync light filter.filter, and you go to your Path of Exile folder. Then you have to paste here in my games Path of Exile 2 never think light filter.filter. Then you go back to the game and you just have to click to open your filter in the folder. You choose this one and you just have to click here. Now you can play with your loot or item filter. So yeah, I really recommend to do this. It's really practical. As you can see here for the runes, different sound and different colors. And if you play, for example, I don't know, World of Warcraft or another game, you will also like to enable this option, show life and mana level. As you can see here, you can see the mana and the life level. You can also show your mini life bar above you, or a mini life bar above the enemies or your allies. So yeah, this is an option to consider if you want. And finally, you can choose your cursor with a different color. Here I choose the green one because you can see it better, and you can choose for a large cursor. You can even see it more better, and you can't miss your cursor when you are. So you can choose which you want. You can ever enable the hover cursor. So another good option here. Now the shortcuts. The shortcuts are really important, and the first one is the life flask and the mana flask. Because while you are fighting, you can lose your life really fast, and you have to be reactive. As you can see here, just look my life. And you just have to press a life flask shortcut because it's really important. As you can see here, I just can press on my mana flask also. So yeah, you have to go to the option, the input, and you just have to set up your flask in slot 1 and in slot 2 with shortcut you want. And through your journey, you will loot different items, and your inventory is pretty small, and you will have to go to the city, and you will have to create a town portal. And rather than clicking at the bottom of your screen, just put a shortcut on your town portal here. It's T for me. I create the same shortcut than Diablo 4. And you can see here, create portal, it's the T1. Another shortcut that is really important is the minimap. It's really great for the transparent minimap. As you can see here, you can move, you can run, and know where you go. Because you can see on the normal map where you are going, as you can see here. Because it's not as detailed at the transparent minimap. So as you can see here, I really know where I am. Sometimes the map is really big, and you can move your minimap with your keyboard, with your directional arrows. And you will have also to feel comfortable with the different menus shortcuts. For example, your character screen, it's C. Your skills, it's G. The minimap, it's U. You can choose them if you want. You go in the option and you can modify with your personal preference. So yeah, for me, the transparent minimap is tab. You can see here the input, tab for the overlay map. Another thing that can help you if you want to track your system, you can track the frame, the FPS. If you like to monitor the performance of your system, as you can see here, while you are fighting or anything else, it's a good option. It's just F1. And you can modify also the option toggle performance matrix here, F1. Also show you the latency, just right here. And finally, you have to play with the item comparison and the advanced item description. As you can see here, it's halt. Why it's important? Because with halt, I will take, for example, my mace. Just look, for example, the increased attack speed. You can see here, I got 13% increased attack speed. With the item comparison, I press halt, and now I can see that I am well rolled in the attack speed, because 13 is the maximum I can get from this type of item. But I got only, for example, 15 increased physical damage rather than 19, that is the max. It's a really good option to know if you got a god item. Another example with my helmet, 40 to maximum life, I press alt and I got only 40 rather than 60 to maximum life. So it's pretty bad in terms of maximum life. And shift is also important to compare your item, compare item description, shift, and you can directly see here the difference between my equipped item and the one in my inventory. Press alt is really interesting also for the skills, because for example, you can have different information. When I press halt on my perfect strike, you can see there is normal strike, perfect strike, and now I press halt, I can just switch the tab and I got all the information, and I just put my cursor on, for example, dual wielding, and this explain me what is dual wielding, this explain me what is ignite. You can have a ton of information while you are pressing halt. This works also when you want to choose your different passive skills, and that it explains everything while you are pressing halt and put your cursor on different information. All right, my friend, now you are ready to your journey. I hope all those types will helped you a lot, and I really hope you learned at least one thing. And I will do my best to show you a lot of different interesting video about the game, like meta build, tips and tricks, and other things you absolutely need to know. If you like this video or this type of content, don't be shy and don't hesitate to leave a like and comment. I respond to all comments, and above all, subscribe so you don't miss any of the next videos. You can also find me on Twitch, come and say hello, it will be a pleasure. It was Sagittarian, thanks for following me, and we'll meet very soon in Reclast.